Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. Going home for the holidays takes on a whole new meaning when you're booking last-minute travel, right? So helping us avoid this huge sticker shock is the Santa of travel, Dr. Peter Ricci. He's the Director of Hospitality and Tourism Management for Florida Atlantic University. Good morning and welcome to the show, Doctor. We really appreciate it because everybody's thinking they want to get out of town. They want to do some traveling. Last-minute traveling, sometimes you have some hacks that people need to use for the holidays. Tell us some of those.
Well, I'm one of those people that's ready. So, information is at everybody's fingertips today. So
Right.
one of the easiest things to do is book a little higher. So if you can book business class or first, because if something happens, you're going to get treated a little differently with a move or a switch or a change of plans. And sometimes you can search around and find a good deal for business class, almost 5% or higher than coach. You got to just take your time and look. So I say one of the things to do is book a little higher.
I like that. And you get a better experience, sounds like, no matter what.
Yeah,
you're going to pay a little bit more.
And, that's if you can afford it. Along those lines, try to fly, if you're flying, try to fly the off-peak times.
Okay.
It really helps. The only city it's a little difficult to do is Vegas because the red eyes coming back east are always full. But if you can get a 5:55 a.m. or a 10:40 p.m. and take the last flight of the day, there's usually more flexibility there. Unless there's been a snowstorm or a rainstorm and they've pushed people to those later flights or the next morning. If you do that, it's a little easier.
Okay.
And then with the last one with airline miles is check your alliances, because a lot of times you can get points on the sister carriers you may not even thought about. But one of the ones I've been really focused on for the past 60 days is coming out of COVID. The ancillary fees and the resort fees in hotels have been a little slow to come back. They're coming back, but I say take the time to call the property and see what other fees they have, and if the neighboring property next door doesn't have them, just stay there. Because there's even a site now called let me get it right, resortfeechecker.com.
Oh, wow.
And they just had an update last week. Resort fees are still down about 17% before COVID, but they're coming back. But I'm talking every kind of fee. Some have extra towel fees, some have use the fitness center fees, some have blanket resort fees for stuff that you would think is included. And I had a guest this week stay in Fort Lauderdale, and just by staying 2 buildings down, they saved $280 on their parking. So check the parking also.
Well, parking, that's a huge thing. And they never want to tell you about it till you get there, and then you're like, well, you have no choice, right?
Absolutely. And, if you followed any of the trends in travel, occupancy is a bit light as we're coming out of COVID, but what's keeping the industry booming is the increase in average daily rate. So rates are high and the overall revenues are strong. So the industry's bouncing back, but we haven't gotten there by occupancy, by heads and beds, more by rate.
Okay.
So if you can negotiate a room upgrade, if you can negotiate resort fees, I have no problem picking up the phone and calling the property directly and asking the front office manager or the sales director, hey, is there anything we can do for an upgrade, or how can I not pay a resort fee? If they really want your business and it's not a sold out house, they could work with you that way. One of the things I really wish I knew when I was traveling all the time is about booking a higher level class and being less likely to get booted in oversold times. I never realized that. And then, like I said, traveling off peak time is a biggie. But use your points as well to try to negotiate a better room, a bigger room, a better view, or whatever the angle can be. But they're quite simple things. And then lastly, travel insurance comes up as a question all the time during the holidays. I've reviewed about 10 different packages this month. Most of them are quite good, but you have to read the fine print, because some of them will pay for a cancellation but there are stipulations as to what type of cancellation for the flight or the train. And some will give you equivalent accommodations, but what exactly does that mean in their literature, you know? But during holiday travel, I usually purchase travel insurance just because you're more likely to have something with the weather, you're more likely because of the crowds. But the resort fees, the parking fees is really where I can see you saving $200 to $400 very easily.
Doctor, thank you so much for joining us. More information on travel hacks, go to our website, dailyflashshow.com. You can follow Dr. Ricci at FAU Business.